A man can spend years fixing broken engines, and still not know how to fix a broken past, until the past pulls up right beside him on a dark, empty road. If stories that hit you right in the heart are your kind of thing, make sure you stay till the very end, and if this one moves you even a little, don't forget to like and subscribe. You never know which story might change the way you see the world next. It was just after sunset when Daniel Reeves wiped the grease from his hands and stepped out of his small roadside garage. The sky burned orange for a moment before sinking into deep blue, the kind of quiet evening he had learned to appreciate over the years. His son, Leo, sat on an overturned crate nearby, swinging his legs and humming to himself while playing with a toy car that Daniel had rebuilt from scraps. Life hadn't been easy for them. Daniel wasn't just a mechanic, he was a single father trying to be everything his son needed. Mornings started early, nights ended late, and in between were bills, school runs, and the constant weight of making sure Leo never felt the absence of his mother too deeply. Leo looked up. "Dad, are we closing now?" "Yeah, buddy," Daniel said, forcing a smile. "Just one more look around, then we head home." That's when the sound came, a faint sputtering of an engine, followed by silence. Daniel turned his head toward the road. About 50 yards away, a police cruiser sat still, its headlights dimming as if they were too tired to stay awake. He hesitated. Helping strangers had always been his instinct. But helping authority, that was complicated. Still, Leo was watching him. "Stay here," Daniel said gently. "I'll be right back." He walked toward the car, boots crunching on gravel, the evening air growing cooler with every step. As he approached, he noticed the driver's door open slightly. A woman in uniform stepped out, her posture tense but composed. "Car trouble?" Daniel asked, keeping his tone neutral. The officer nodded. "Engine cut out. I called it in, but backup might take a while." Daniel leaned slightly toward the engine, listening to the ticking sounds as it cooled. "Mind if I take a look?" She hesitated for just a second, then stepped aside. "Go ahead." Daniel popped the hood and began his usual inspection, hands moving almost automatically. "Loose connection, faulty wiring, something minor, probably." "You run this place?" she asked. "Yeah," he replied without looking up. "Just down there." "You always stop to help?" Daniel smirked faintly. "Depends on the day." There was a pause, a silence that felt heavier than it should. Then she said, quietly, "What made today different?" Daniel froze. Something in her voice, something familiar. He slowly straightened, wiping his hands on a cloth before turning to face her fully. And that's when he saw her face clearly. Time didn't just slow, it snapped. The years peeled back in an instant, and suddenly he wasn't standing on a quiet roadside anymore. He was somewhere colder, louder, darker. "Emma," he whispered. Her expression shifted, not shock, but recognition already settling in. "Daniel," she said. The name hit him like a punch to the chest. Leo's laughter echoed faintly in the distance, grounding him in the present, but everything else felt like it was unraveling. Emma Carter, the woman who had arrested him 10 years ago. The woman who had testified in court. The woman who had stood there, unwavering, as his entire life collapsed. Neither of them spoke for a moment. "You look different," she finally said. Daniel let out a dry laugh. "Yeah, that's what time does." Her eyes flickered toward the garage, where Leo now stood watching from afar. "Your son?" Daniel nodded. "My whole world." Another pause. Then Emma said something he never expected. "I didn't know," she said softly. Daniel's jaw tightened. "Didn't know what?" "That you had a family." He looked at her sharply. Would it have mattered? The question hung in the air, sharp and uncomfortable. Emma didn't answer right away. Instead, she looked down, as if searching for words she wasn't sure she deserved to say. "I followed procedure," she said finally. "Back then." Daniel's laugh this time was bitter. "Procedure. Yeah, I remember that word." The memories came rushing back, being wrongfully accused of involvement in a robbery he had nothing to do with. Being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Evidence that didn't quite fit but was enough to convince a jury. And Emma, young, determined, convinced she was doing the right thing. "I lost everything," Daniel said quietly. "My job, my reputation, years of my life." Emma swallowed. "I know." "No," he snapped. "You don't." Silence again. The engine between them ticked softly. Then, unexpectedly, Leo's small voice cut through. "Dad, are you okay?" Daniel turned, his expression softening instantly. "Yeah, buddy, just a minute." Emma watched that exchange carefully. Something in her eyes shifted. not guilt, not entirely, something deeper. I reopened your case, she said suddenly. Daniel blinked. What? A year ago, she continued. There were inconsistencies, things that didn't sit right with me anymore. I couldn't let it go. Daniel stared at her, unsure whether to believe what he was hearing. I found new evidence, she said. Enough to prove you weren't involved. His breath caught, but by the time everything was processed, you'd already served your sentence. The words landed heavily. So what? Daniel said slowly, you came here to say sorry. No, she said firmly. I came because I've been trying to find you. That surprised him more than anything else. I wanted to tell you in person, she continued. Your record is being cleared. Officially. It'll be finalized within weeks. Daniel felt something crack inside him, not anger, not relief, something in between. All these years, he murmured. I know, Emma said, her voice breaking slightly. And I can't give them back. But I couldn't live with not trying to make it right. Daniel looked at her, really looked this time. She wasn't the same person from back then. The certainty in her eyes had been replaced by something humbler. Heavier. You could have just driven past, he said. Emma shook her head. So could you. That hit him harder than expected. He glanced back at Leo, who was now crouched, pretending his toy car was climbing an invisible mountain. Everything Daniel had built since those dark years, it wasn't much, but it was real. Honest. Hard-earned. He turned back to the open hood and tightened a loose connection. Try it now, he said. Emma got into the car and turned the key. The engine roared back to life smoothly. She stepped out again, relief washing over her face. Thank you, she said. Daniel nodded. It was a simple fix. They stood there one last time. I don't expect forgiveness, Emma said quietly. Daniel thought for a long moment. Then he said, good. Because it's not that simple. She nodded, accepting it. But, he added, glancing at Leo, people can change. I guess that counts for something. Emma gave a small, grateful smile. It does, she said. She got back into her car, hesitating just before closing the door. I'm glad you stopped tonight, she said. Daniel looked at her. Me too. As she drove away, the red taillights fading into the night, Daniel stood there a little longer than necessary. Leo ran up to him. Did you fix it, Dad? Daniel smiled, placing a hand on his son's head. Yeah, buddy, I did. They walked back toward the garage together. And for the first time in years, Daniel felt something he hadn't expected to feel again. Not just closure, but the beginning of something lighter. Because sometimes, life doesn't fix what's broken right away. Sometimes, it brings it back to you when you're finally strong enough to repair it. And if this story stayed with you, if it made you feel something real, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. There are more stories out there waiting to remind you that even in the hardest moments, change is always possible.